All right, everybody, we're live. I'm gonna take a second to go ahead and add people. And if you guys want, you could, if you have another phone or another device, you could go on your other device and you could go to the Soapbox Heroes page. And once you get to the page, you could view it. And once you're viewing it, you could hit share.
Is it going to be showing on our pages?
No, it's going to be showing on Soapbox Heroes page. But if you go on your page and go from the Soapbox Heroes page, from your page to the Soapbox Heroes page, it'll be showing there, and you could just share it. And if it's like too many extra complications, don't worry about it. Because it's a lot of navigation to this sometimes.
I'm lucky I'm even in this meeting. If my kid wasn't with me, I wouldn't have even been able to connect with you. The youth 12-year-old.
All right. All right. I'm just adding. If anybody's coming on, about to get started here very soon. Today is going to be a good debate.
Are they just being invited to, I said, when we're inviting them, are they being invited to just listen, or can they actually say anything or type anything? How does it work?
They're being invited to watch. And what we're going to do is when they're watching, we're going to announce that today that people will be able to tune in and ask questions.
Okay, so I see the post Soapbox Heroes, so I just go ahead and click on the actual, go to the page. Because like I'm on the event. I'm on the event page. So
yes, you could go to
that page?
Yes, you could go to the actual event. And when you go to the actual event, when you open up the actual page, then you can start hitting share.
Under more?
Huh?
Save, copy, link, notification settings, and report event. Discussion about, go live, camera. Oh. Maybe I'm not on your actual page.
Maybe not. Like I said, if it's too much of a hassle, don't worry about it.
Yep.
And if anybody's watching, we ask that you guys go ahead and share as well. We appreciate it. About to get this debate started here really, really soon.
Okay. I want to invite you. Oh, I want to invite you. Just did that.
That's how it goes. The kids know a lot more than we do about this technology.
Oh, there it is. All right. Sending the invite to Messenger, like I did yesterday.
All right. Here, just use this one, Tyler.
That's a good debate topic. Is the speed of technology making us better society or worse?
It's making me a lot dumber than I should be. I'm mentally lazy.
Liquid Boulevard Station.
All right, you guys.
It's like they invented the microwave, and after that, I was done.
Here, share it with the group, and then after you share it with the group, go down and just start sharing it with people. All right, everybody, this is Soapbox Heroes. My name is Tyrone Irvin. Today we're going to have a nice show for you guys. It's going to be a nice debate. We're going to have, as you can see, have a nice variation of opinions on the topic. And today's topic at hand is the N word. The word is, I guess you could say, kind of ingrained in our culture. And so there's people on both sides. There's some people who say that it should just be okay. There's some people who say that it shouldn't be okay, that we shouldn't say it at all. There's definitely a history behind the word. And so today we're going to try to just get a different viewpoint from everybody and see where we could get to, and see if we could come up with some answers. And if you don't come up with some answers, at least you'll know what other people think, and maybe you could tolerate it or come up with your own opinion. So today is Soapbox Heroes. We'll go around and we'll introduce everybody, and we'll start with you, Guy. Go ahead and introduce yourself and say a little bit about yourself.
All right. Hi, everyone that's watching or catching this on the rebound. Obviously, this will be broadcasted for life after this, right? Anyway,
Correct.
my name's Guy. I am a 46-year-old father of one child who's in the car. His name's Alexander. He has a YouTube channel. Check him out, Alexander Harrell. Anyway, what can I say? Retired teacher. I taught for 22 years. I was also involved in organized sports, track, cross country. I ran competitively for 15 years, coached for 10 years. Now I just run my own taxi company. So other than that, I'm remarried, my second time go around, and just a little bit about my ethnic background. My mom was white, my dad was black. I have 3 Caucasian siblings and 4 African American siblings, and I'm the youngest of 8 children. So that's about it.
All right. Sounds good. All right. How about you, Carlos?
Oh, what's going on, everybody? My name is Carlos Nadell. I'm out here in Cincinnati, Ohio area. In a nutshell, man, I run for a minority business enterprise. I get people jobs on the regular. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what I do. And other than that, man, you know, just happy to be on, trying to get introduced because they got some other topics that I'm interested in. So we can start with this one.
All right, Michael, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Mike James. I am 34 years old. I'm an assistant vice president for financial banking, merchant services through Bank of America. 2 kids, and since we're talking about the word nigga, I'd like to say that my kids are actually mixed, Hispanic, and I'm mixed too. My mom was black, my daddy was blacker.
What's up, Mike? I didn't even know that was you, bro.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I've been good, man.
Yeah,
Been
so good to see you.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so ready for this debate.
All right, all right. And Daryl, how about yourself? You want to introduce yourself? Say a little bit about yourself. You have to unmute yourself, sir.
Mic on mute.
You have your mic on mute.
Mute yourself.
The wonderful sounds of Los Angeles, California in the background. We
I
can hear
also
you.
have no idea.
Okay, we can,
Microwave, I was lost, y'all. So can you guys hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
Now we can.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Uh-oh.
I think we lost him.
I think we lost him. All right, we lost him, but I'm sure he'll chime back in, and we'll probably have another some more people chiming in. And oh yeah, I want to let everybody know that in a second I'll be giving out a number, so as you listen, you'll be able to call in and ask questions and make a comment if you'd like to. And so we'll give you room to go ahead and get your face on here and say what you have to say as well. Okay, we're going to start right here. And Carlos, you have the biggest part of the screen on my screen, so we'll start with you. My first question, and we're going to go around to everybody. My first question is, who could say the N-word?
Well, I mean, you got like different people, a variation of people who feel like they could say the N-word. I mean, we all know as far as us being black, I'm actually mixed myself. I'm black and half Puerto Rican, but we say it because we feel like it's a term of endearment. You know what I mean? We say it amongst each other as far as a brotherhood type of a situation. But you got like some Latinos as far as like Dominican Republic, Puerto Ricans or whatever, more so than I'm familiar with, that will use the same, you know, nigga as far as connotation because they're not calling each other a nigger or nothing like that. They just like that's their nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody that is their boy. That's their close relationship with a friend of theirs. But then I've been around some cultures, especially out here where I'm at. I be like in the Hamilton, Ohio area. It's like cliques of white boys, like, you know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to anybody white or like that. That's, you know, they white. So, they be saying it like they all niggas, like for real, like no disrespect. And so it's like when I hear it, and I hear them doing it, it's not like they saying it to me. So it's like I'm just passing by anyway. You feel what I'm saying? And so my face immediately turns up. I ain't gonna lie, like my face turns up. Like, did I just hear what I heard? But I'm not about to be like, yo, man, y'all can't say that, because my thing is, it's some hoods out here that's just white hoods. I know it sounds crazy, but it really, really is. Like it's crazy shit. But excuse me on my language. But anyway, for the most part, I don't feel like anybody, you know what I'm saying, as far as that's outside of the culture of being African American can really say it and really should be saying it. And I'm not trying to be prejudiced or nothing like that, but where it comes from a deep place, a deep rooted place. So you know what I'm saying, where you know what you're saying when you're saying it. You know, it's more geared towards nigger instead of nigga. But at the same time, you trying to say you mean it in terms of endearment. It don't matter. Like if you was with a white girl or a Mexican girl and she got mad at you and called you that, I don't give a damn if that was your girl for life. Like that you loved her to death. If she said that to you, like shut up nigger or something like that or whatever to that effect, you will feel some kind of way because she's not black. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's kind of hard for me to say that anybody can say it unless you come from like a you know, not white. I'll just keep it that way. Just that simple.
Okay,
like,
so you're basically saying anybody can say it except for white people. Is that
yeah,
close to
I'm
what
gonna
you're
go with
saying?
that.
Oh, okay. All right, Guy. What about you, Guy? Who can say the N word?
Well, since I have my roots in education, I have to go back to the history of the term of the N word or nigger. People ask me, I started talking to them about this early on yesterday once I knew I was going to be on this for a discussion. People find it really interesting that, you know, that's kind of an interesting topic. I'm kind of interested in that same thing. But basically, if we go back to the root of the definition of the word, it means ignorance. It means somebody who is stupid and does not know any better. I mean, so anybody technically, regardless of who can say the word, anybody can be a nigger. I mean, in the context of what he just shared with us just now, you know, he's out in Ohio and there's cliques of white guys calling each other, you know, they're niggas, whatever. I mean, technically anybody can be one. So as far as my concern as an educator, anybody can say the word. But if you put it in the context of what we were talking about earlier and his examples earlier, you know, if you're using that as a term of endearment, all the more power to you. If you're using it to denigrate or to subjugate somebody in a manner that is less than because you're trying to talk down to them or make them subjected to feeling a certain way, then, you know, we got a whole nother story. I mean, and we know there's other terms that people use in other ethnicities like spick or chink or dago or wetback, redneck. I mean, there's all kinds of terms that people use that are almost in conjunction to the idea of what people say with the term of nigger. I mean, I've never looked up the definition of all those other connotations for those other ethnicities, but, you know, we all know the idea is that we're trying to put people in a place of either endearment or we're putting people in their place of trying to talk down to them. So obviously there are different views about the idea and the use of the word, and I think you just have to think about your surroundings and think about the connotation that's meant when it's used, whether you're listening to it in a rap, within rap music, or you're listening to it like the gentleman before me just said, you're looking at a whole group of white guys calling each other that, then, you know, it's just an understanding of your surroundings. And I mean, I don't think anybody can or cannot say that term. I think it just has to do with your surroundings. And if you look at it historically from the standpoint of what it means and why it was used and how it was changed through the South, you know, it could have a very negative connotation to it. But, you know, I like the first guy when he said that, you know, hey, I'm in Ohio and I see a whole group of white guys calling each other that. Well, I mean, I don't think it should have that negative connotation. If we can turn it into a term of endearment and anybody can use it, then it means the same thing as homie or bro or brother or sister. I mean, it's just, you're my homie, you're my nigga. I mean, it just depends on the surroundings and the environment of how it's used.
Okay, so essentially you're trying to say that it should be okay for everybody to say it since it's a universal term at this point in time. and people have gotten used to using the word, and so it should just be something that's stitched into the everyday fabric.
It should.
All right, Michael, what do you think? Who could say the N word?
I think we're using the word "can say the N word" versus who should say it, because I mean we have freedom of speech.
You know what? You could parse that however you want. Can say it and who should say it. Go ahead and round up what you think.
So who can say it legally? We have freedom of speech, but who should say it? Only niggas. When I grew up, if someone outside the culture said nigga, they got taxed for that. There was consequences and repercussions. 2018, it's a bit different. I think as a black people, we've grown, and so we don't get offended, or we have more to lose, so we don't tax them for doing it. But ultimately, only niggas should say nigga. If you cannot be hurt by that word, or you weren't hurt by the word nigger, if you didn't share in that demoralization, then you can't also share in the joy in which we took and made that word our own. So with that being said, only niggas say niggas.
All right. All right. What about you, Daryl? Who do you think should be who could say the N word?
Anybody who has the desire to say the word should be able to say the word. Now, the question is, why do you have the desire to say the word? It can mean different things. Like, the word itself is just another way to show how awesome the black culture is. Here, we are the only race we're the only people who can take a word that was meant to harm, to do nothing but insult us, and then take it and popularize it to now where everybody else wants to do that. You cannot find black people anywhere going around, hey, what up my chink? What up my booty head? What up my wetback? Nobody else does that, but you can find every other race saying that. So I think that, that's just one of the many things of ours that the world wants to take. Now, considering the hip hop culture, there are artists who will go on stage, and if that word is in their song, they'll put the microphone out to the audience and let the audience sing the lyrics or whatever, and that might be a good feeling. But anybody you have to be selective and be careful about who you use the word around, and just know that, because from it doesn't come from the same place for everybody. Like, if you have siblings, right? You can talk to your brother, your sister, like, damn, your mama's getting on my nerves. Your mama is really, your mama there. But let somebody else come and say, your mama's getting on my nerves. We might have an issue, And so that's where I am.
All right. Hey, everybody. Kenny has joined us. Everybody say hi to Kenny.
What's up, Kenny?
What up, Kenny?
What's up, brother? How y'all doing?
Hey, Kenny. Hey, you are right on time. We just started our first question, and it would actually be your turn. The first question is, who could say the N word? Who is it okay for to say the N word?
Oh man, it's really a tough subject, because I'm not here to step on anybody's toes or anything, but man, I'm from Louisiana, man. I was raised with a bunch of black dudes, man, and even though I am a country dude, I have hood in me too. So it all, you can break down the word, man, and the way I see it is, it's not only in one culture, one race. It's in a lot of different races. It's all how you represent yourself and how you act, man. The way I see it. As far as anybody who wants to say it, I did catch a little bit. It's up to the person, man. It's whoever wants to say it. It just all depends on how you're putting it out there, how you're meaning it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. And so, go ahead.
I feel like I'm on my own right here, because I'm the only one that said that only blacks should say it.
I said anybody not white is what I said, and I don't.
Okay.
The only reason why I feel like it's not only blacks, because it's like some I don't know if you know, like some man, like I said, like Dominicans or Puerto Ricans that look just like us, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm saying blacks as a color, not African
Oh, okay,
Americans.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, I'm with you. Yeah,
So I'm
because you have
sorry.
Dominicans, you
I
have
personally
Puerto
don't think white
Ricans.
people should
yeah,
use it.
I agree. I agree. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because it's like I hear what y'all saying that anybody can say it, like because we got the freedom of speech to say it, and if it's something, if you're not meaning it in that kind of way. But my thing is, it go back to like what Mike said, like it's the should part. Like, think about it. When you're in an office setting or you're around like women and you're doing things like as far as a professional, you can't say shit like that bitch got the fat ass. So you can't say shit like you can't say certain things like that, or even like, or like, man, a woman wouldn't be good for that job. Like even something like that, you can't use any of those kind of terms. Why? Is because it would make a woman feel a certain kind of way. Even if you wasn't in a professional
Right.
setting, even if you just was out in public, it'll make her feel a certain kind of way. Why? Because that's just something you don't say. So my thing is, no matter who, if a white person heard, no, and no disrespect to you, Kitty, but I'm saying like if you said it and we heard it, it's like you know that you said it and you didn't mean nothing by it, and we can probably be cool with you and know that you didn't mean nothing by it, but at the same time, we looking at you, and you look like the cats who really meant something by it.
Right.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying? So it's,
be,
you know,
go ahead.
no,
Because
go ahead, Mike.
because like what you're saying, he didn't share in that struggle. No one can actually come to you, Kenny, and call you a nigger, and it's gonna hurt you like it would hurt or affect me. And ultimately, well, it seems like America, in a sense, is a culture vulture. They take everything the black man has. I mean, from hip hop to rock and roll to
Exactly.
sports,
Everything.
everything that we have, America has stolen. So this is that one thing that we're trying to keep of our own, and it's a term of endearment. And what I mean by term of endearment is anyone can say the word sweetheart, anyone can say the word honey, but I promise you, you come call my girl honey or sweetheart, you don't have to feel these hands. So that's the same thing with the word nigga. I can call my brother a nigga because that's my brother, my term of endearment. But because you're not in that brotherhood, you can't say it. The same way Marines have their terms of endearments and jarheads, and you can't say it or simplify. If you, I think they call it stolen valor. If you try to wear fatigues and you have been in the army, they look down upon that. But then everyone can say nigga. Like, it
Okay.
seems that in every other culture, you can't cross over except for the black culture.
Okay, I have a question now. Does that kind of seem like a double standard where at the same time where rap music is popular in every culture and in rap culture the word is freely used. They say the word nigga in every single song. So are you trying to say that somebody of another race or somebody white who enjoys rap music can't sing along with the song because they have to stop at the word nigga, the word that's actually being put out there for them to sing along, to buy, and to listen to. So go ahead, one of
Exactly.
you guys pick that up.
I just want to say it. Then again, I mean, again, it's a compliment to an artist when you have anybody singing the lyrics to your song. It's a compliment. But my thing is in conversation. Why would you have the desire to use the word in conversation?
Oh,
Go ahead, Kenny.
I I don't know if y'all look at it this way, and this is how I look at things. Not to say that the white culture does or not, and I don't mean any offense when I say any of this, but I break down the word, okay? And if I walk up to my homeboy or something like, man, what's up, my nigga? What you doing, bro? That's my homeboy, that's my friend, right? That's I mean, a lot of white people say that like that. Now, earlier you were saying nigga and then nigger, right? So I feel that the word nigger means it's in every it's at every race, bro. I mean, it's to me it's a person, whether they're white, black, Mexican, whatever, that acts so thug nasty like they can't be touched and always has to fight with a gun or something like that, or always wants to throw down. Anytime somebody says something, they get offended and they want to fight somebody or kill somebody or rob somebody, steal your shit or whatever, bro. That's how I break down that. Now, if I'm in public or something, I'm not gonna go around a whole bunch of black dudes and then talk to my one friend and be like, man, what's up, nigga? What you doing, bro? I'm not gonna do that because I have the respect. You know what I'm saying? So the environment that
Hey,
white people say it just as much, man. I mean, there's no way around that. And
Okay, so
it's
Kenny, so basically what you're saying, Kenny, is you don't equate white with the color, you equate white with ignorance, with the action.
yeah,
the
pretty
word.
much.
Okay.
But that's not globally accepted. Globally accepted, the word nigger means a slave. You can't if you look in the history books, or if I can say the word dog means to jump. Yeah, I can make anything up if I want to, but if you look at the history and you look at the word itself, the word nigger means slave. So, if your ancestors don't come from slavery, I don't care what you wanted to fill in your heart, what you want it to mean, it is what it is. The word nigger um, is a word that's going back to slavery for the condescend to our ancestors.
Okay, well here,
Okay.
let's let Guy chime in. Hold on one second. Guy, what do you think? What's on your mind?
Well, where are we at? What's the question we're pondering still? We still
Well,
pondering
the question
Oh, that's him honking the horn.
the question started the question is
we're at the park. He's like calling his family. I'm sorry.
The rapper. We're
the,
talking about the rappy.
the question was who can say the word nigga, and then we evolved to everybody got their points to where they thought that who could say nigga and who can't say nigga. And so then my question became, is it okay for other people to say nigga because it's in all the rap songs? And so that's where we've evolved to from there, because my question was, all the rappers say it, so do you expect somebody to mutter along the songs
Yeah.
to the words to a rap song and then stop when they get to the word nigga? Because they're putting it in the songs. And so since it's in the songs, should it be okay for that person to continue their thought, to continue their song? So is nigga okay since it's in rap songs?
I mean, again, we've commercialized the term, so that should be a good thing for everybody. I mean, if we commercialize the term bitch, what's the difference with commercializing the term nigga? I mean, the bottom line is, like I said in the beginning of my statement, was you always have to think about your surroundings. So again, if you're going to be calling some woman bitch, I mean, if you're around a whole bunch of women and you're all by yourself in that room, you might want to think about the surroundings of which you use those terms. So, I mean, like you're saying, we commercialize the term nigga in rap songs. So the bottom line is, if we're commercializing it, we can make money off of this. We can capitalize off of a term that is used to denigrate black for eons. We're talking about decades, okay? 10 years is a decade. A century is 100 years. How long has it been since we abolished slavery? It's been since the 50s. So, I mean, I say slavery because we didn't have our voting rights and we didn't have civil rights until the 50s. So to me, that's the same thing as, Jim Crow, and the same thing as segregation is all the same thing as prejudice, which goes all the way back to slavery. So if we commercialize the term, and like the first gentleman said about, being in Ohio and seeing a whole group of white guys calling each other nigga, I don't have a problem with that. Again, it's going to be contextualized, and it's going to be based off of the history of the word and your surroundings. That's all I can keep saying.
Well, no. So let me answer the question too about the rapping. So my son will be in the car and a rap song will come on and he's yelling, and when any curse words come up, because they allow it on regular radio now, he'll stop. He won't say that cuss word. He'll skip over it and then move on. We have to remember that hip hop and rap was for us, by us. Just 15 years ago, they were arresting black artists for rap, NWA. They were, it wasn't allowed on radio. So let it be as commercialized now. We didn't commercialize the word nigga. We didn't commercialize on rap. Jews and whites got behind it, and they made the money off of it. They're still making money off of it. So for them, it's a profit. We're not getting profit off that word. So with that being said, even though it is commercialized, we didn't do it. And yes, my expectation is if my best friend, which is a white guy in the car, and we're rapping, and Jay-Z says nigga, I look right at him, and he does not say nigga.
Right. All right, go ahead, Daryl. What do you think about the rappers? And the song comes on, and the song is saying, "Me and my nigga." If you're white, are you going to say that person has an obligation to stop when they stopped and they purchased the song and they're fans of the artist as well? Does that person have to stop?
again, it goes back to the why would they have the desire to use it? If they saying it just to sing along, just if they know if they're a Jay-Z fan and they know every Jay-Z song from the first album to the last, then it'd be cool. But it's just again, why the desire to use it?
And so you're saying it's a case by case basis, essentially.
Right.
So if I'm sitting next to you and we're sitting in the office and we're both humming along a song and I'm a white guy and the word nigga comes up.
Wait, first of all, in the office, the word nigga, the word bitch, the word hoe, the word slut.
Okay, we're not at the word. Okay, we're not at the office. You and Kenny are sitting at the bar. Oh, hey, Marcus is here. We can't see you, but we can hear you, Marcus. Can you hear us?
Hey, I'm in. It's just that the everybody videos keep pausing, so I just basically cut out so I can see y'all in motion.
Okay, well, we'll go to you in voice, so you'll be here in voice.
I'm gonna slide in just a second.
Okay, so Daryl, back to the question. So if I'm a white guy and you're a black guy and we're sitting at the bar and the song "Jigga My Nigga" comes on. And he goes, Jigga, my nigga. You're trying to say if I'm a Jay-Z fan and I'm a fan of the culture, it's okay. My question is, if you just met me at the bar, how do you know that's my culture? How do you decipher who's in the culture?
Right. If you're singing along with a song, it's something different than being in conversation, telling me how you feel in the heat of anger. Or just, I told this nigga to shut up. That's different than Jigga, where's my it's completely different. It's two different vibes. One is showing entertainment. One, I'm happy. The other one is showing you what comes up and what comes out when I'm in the heat of anger or when I was really pissed off at. That's what I'm saying. The dude gave I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. Dude gave an example about the song, how songs weren't allowed. I remember when Queen Latifah came out with that song, "Who You Calling a Bitch?" UNITY. There were so many ladies who were like, "Oh my God," their feathers were ruffled and stuff like that. Now, the word "bitch" is kind of like saying good morning. You know what I'm saying? And if a dude goes to a girl and calls her a bitch, she would feel some kind of way. But her homegirl say, "Hey, what's up, bitch?" Or, something like that. It's a completely different vibe, Exactly. But then I'm just keep it real. I went to college down south. Let the white Caucasian person call you boy. It can be more offensive than the word nigga ever was.
Hey, that's true. But let me ask this question. It seems like as a community, blacks, white, Mexicans, when a man calls a woman a bitch, we say to be hurtful. And that's why we can't say it. But like you said, another woman can call another woman a bitch and it's okay. Why do we as men respect that, but we don't respect nigga? Because which one of you guys, Daryl, when's the last time, I'm not Daryl, Kenny, the guy, Caucasian guy, when have you called a woman a bitch? Ever? You didn't mean it hurtful. Like you won't walk into a woman and say bitch, but then you walk into a black guy and say nigga. So why do we obey that particular law, but not the nigga law?
Well, hold on, Michael. Let's not go too far. I think he said when he walks in, he comes in contact with black people, he doesn't use it so casually because he knows the offensive nature. But if I'm not mistaken, Kenny, did you say that you use it amongst friends?
Yeah, I'll say it against anybody. I'll say it not against, but I'll say it amongst anybody because that's just how I am. I speak my mind, But earlier he was talking and he said it doesn't matter how I perceive the word. It is what it is. It means what it means to him. But let's look. Well, okay, what about dog? You got a dog right here that's running around, right? But you walk up to a homeboy and say, "Hey man, what's up, dog?" I can't say it's the same thing because the word might have a different meaning to the black culture than it would the white culture. But if I'm not going up to somebody and saying, "Well, that nigger right there is doing," you know what I'm saying? That's not what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be an asshole about it. It's just, it is what it is, man. People are going to do what they're going to do regardless. And there's absolutely no disrespect in that at all. But it's like Mr. Durrell was saying a little bit ago. It's why would you use it all the time? Why would you say it this? Well, reason why is because it's put out there more, just like you're saying in the songs, man. I listen, I got a system in my truck, man, and everybody knows the most music that bangs is going to be rap music, right? and a song comes on, man, and I'm listening to it banging and whatever, and I'm at a red light, and all of a sudden every word is the N word in the song, and there's a black dude next to me in his Cadillac looking at me like, man, what's this motherfucker here doing? Well, you better turn that down. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Bring them windows up.
so I mean, some people take it harder than others, you know, and I'm not here to offend nobody, like I said, man, but I mean, I'm gonna walk up to homeboy, man, what's up, nigga? How you doing, bro? You know, it just, and I'm country. I believe it or not, I really am.
All right, hey, Marcus, go ahead. You haven't said much today. We haven't got to hear you since we can't see you. Go ahead and chime in.
Right on, right on. I mean, I think I see it as a curse word. Basically, Buddy was talking about, a kid in the car with you listening to the radio, and he knows to cut off the words at the cuss word. We're gonna basically treat it like a curse word, and it's based on the environment that you in. So if you're at the office, it's gonna be select words you know not to say, nigga, bitch, or it's gonna be sexual harassment words, or if anything,
Right.
So as far as with Kenny, being that he's white, if you notice, he's only gonna say it to a person that he cool with, somebody he probably grew up with. Me personally, I don't have a problem with that because I got a white boy that'll say it to me. You know what I'm saying? But if it's just a random white dude, it's probably gonna be awkward for him, but he know not to say it. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be based on the environment that you in, and like personally, if you know him personally, it ain't gonna just be no random person saying, a random white person just saying this stuff. It's gonna be somebody that's familiar with this particular person, familiar with this particular culture. So that's just my opinion. I don't have a problem with it. I treat it like
Well,
a
can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Is your homeboy comfortable using it around you, around other black people?
He's gonna know his limitations. Just like the little boy in the car
said
jamming
that?
the radio with his mom. I bet you if his mom wasn't around, he gonna say the cuss word. So we're gonna treat it like with the boy, like it's pretty much just around his crew. Is he gonna do it differently? He probably gonna feel some type of way, like, hey, I ain't gonna do this because I don't know everybody like that.
That's right.
Just like the
So
little,
you gave him a pass.
radio, he finna cuss. If his mama gone, he's saying all them cuss words. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
What do you think, Carlos? Get in, Carlos. What do you think? Do you think that a white person, is able to can comfortably say the word nigga?
I mean, I mean, not. I can see what Marcus is saying too. Like that's his boy. He know him. He say it to him, and it's cool. But my thing is, I think if we just in a cool setting and we're just like not really thinking about it and not really putting it on our mind as far as trying to get all deep about it, then I guess it is what it is. But at the same time, we really acting like we don't know that nigga came from nigger. Like we're acting like it didn't come from that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is like, even if you're saying that, if I said, oh shit, I'm just over here chilling, cracker. You know what I'm saying? I promise you, my white homeboy's gonna be like, cracker? Why do you say cracker, dude? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause you said nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, but how many times do the black person come back and say?
But you can say that because you cool with him. I call my white one a honky. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? They have the wrestling man, honky tonk man. You feel me? So.
Hey, Kenny, how would you feel if a black guy willy-nilly walks up to you, sit next to you in the bar, looks at you, and he's going along on a song, and he says honky? How would that make you feel?
Honestly, in all reality, I would laugh so hard, man, because the word, I mean, I don't even know how that word got started, man, but just think about honky. It is hilarious to me.
Let's not go to honky. Let's go to rednecks. I don't think honky has had as much connotation and discrimination and as the word nigga.
Okay, we say pepperwood. We'll call him a wood then. A cracker.
So let's use the word peckerwood. The word peckerwood is a word, and yeah, I can actually say peckerwood, but in prison, I cannot say the word peckerwood. If I say the word pecker in prison, I'm gonna get that butt beat because a certain group, a certain brotherhood owns that word, and we will respect that law in prison, but we don't respect that law for nigga out here. In jail or prison, you can't use the word peckerwood.
Your environment. That's why we come back to why I say in the environment, yo.
All right. Hey, I got a question.
Yeah, but I've been to prison, and I mean, I walking down the aisle, or you know, you walking in line, going to commissary, doing whatever. Look out, Wood, man. I mean, it happens all the time. So I've been called Wood, I've been called Peckerwood, I've been called a cracker, a dumbass cracker, I've been called honky, I've been called all kind of stuff. It
But
doesn't
that's what be
affect me.
disrespectful. It was to be disrespectful though. But with a gorilla, when someone come to you and say, "What's up, Peckerwood?" as a term of endearment, no, they say it to be offensive. That's the
Yeah.
whole point.
Right.
Okay, I got a question. Let's move forward a little bit. And Guy, I'm gonna start with you because you say that it should be okay to use the word nigga because we can monetize the word. It's a word that could be used universally and it can become a universal word of endearment. So since it should, in your view, be a universal word of endearment that could be monetized, what age should a child be able to start saying the word nigga in your eyes?
Well,
Got him.
I've taught preschool through adult ed, and obviously I don't want to get into the governmental compartmentalization of ageism because the bottom line is we say kids can start voting at 18, but they can't smoke or drink until they're 21 or drink until they're 21. So I mean, there again goes to that whole idea of surroundings. I mean, if you're in a Southern Baptist conservative household, you're probably never going to say the word, but no matter what age you are. So what I'm comfortable with is, again, I've raised my 12-year-old son to be an independent thinker. I've taught him to, live his life according to, the golden rules. Don't do unto others what you wouldn't have them do unto you. So, I mean, to me, the ageism question is kind of back tantamount to the whole idea of who can say nigger. I mean, if a little 5-year-old is saying the word, they don't know what the heck the history is or what they're saying in the context, then maybe that 5-year-old should be saying it. But there's some very smart little 5-year-olds out there. If you ever see these videos on YouTube, they're all over the place. Little 5-year-olds doing and saying all kinds of different things. So age, it's again, it's going to be for the surroundings, and it's going to be for the ability for that kid to be able to understand and know the context of how they're saying and using the term.
Okay, so what you're saying is once the child can understand the context of the term, then you feel if the child has the mental dexterity, then they can go ahead and start using the word.
Absolutely.
All right, here, let's go around to somebody else, Daryl, and then we'll go to Mike, Carlos, and Marcus. We'll swing around to you. And Kenny, what age do you guys think it's appropriate for a child to be able to say the N word? Mike, that might be a trick question for you. Everybody else, go ahead.
Oh, as far as me, my daughter has never even heard the word. And she's in bed right now. But my daughter knows better. My daughter has said the F word before, and just because she's heard it, but we don't. We install respect and discipline into our children, right? And you can look at my sister. My mom and dad raised us not to see color, and I don't know how other families are raised, but that's how we were raised. And I got two nieces. I got a niece and a nephew that are both mixed babies because my sister likes black guys. And my daughter, to this day, has still never heard the N word, as far as I know, not around me anyway. And I don't think that she needs to hear it. I'm scared to death because she starts public school this year. So I'm really scared, that that's going to take my little angel, and turn her into this little devil kid. So we're going to find out about that. As far as an age limit, man, you can't really put an age limit on anything because, you like Mr. Guy was saying, he was, you can smoke and vote at 18, but you can't drink till 21. But I was 16, 17 when I started drinking a couple here and there. I'm not a really big drinker now, but so you can't put an age limit on something that you have no control over. Kids are going to do what kids are going to do. And as far as I know, my little girl's, she's an awesome kid. I get plenty of compliments on how respectful she is. She might get away from me, go to school and start cussing the teachers out. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't control that.
Oh, believe me, it happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And look, on this note, since you talked about public education and we have a couple educators on the panel, pretty soon we're going to have a show on education, homeschool, public education, private education, privatization of education. And we're going to get right back on topic. But before we do, I want to let everybody know that if somebody out there want to get in and they want to add a quick comment or a question, you could do this. You could go ahead and you could text this number, 832-718-8670. Once again, that's 832-718-8670. Once you text us, we're going to text us and leave us your name, where you're from, and about what you're going to say. And we're going to text you back a link. Once we text you the link, download the link, and you'll pop right into the meeting. And so that's what we'll do. Go ahead, and we'll get back to it. Carlos, what age do you think it's okay for a child, for a youngster to say the word nigga?
I'm a little everywhere with this one because can't say it in my house. And, and I'm just gonna keep it all the way real. And the only reason because I think it was Marcus who said he kind of viewed it almost like a cuss word. I think that was him who said it, kind of in the sense, like you can't cuss in my house. Like, but in my food that my son is getting ready to be, he's just turned 12. He's going to the preteen, about to be the teen. If any of us want to act like we don't remember 12 and 13 or whatever, then that's just naive. You feel what I'm saying? So when you get around your boys, when you get around your peers, I know it's all kind of niggas coming out of his mouth. He'll come in his house and totally act like he don't even know how to say that. You understand what I'm saying? But that's because the way that I raised my household. He knows I don't hide nothing from him. I don't do none of that kind of stuff, but I also teach him. I'm also trying to teach myself though, because at the same time, those that are real close to me, like y'all may not know, but like I know Mike from high school, and we go way back, and I know Tyrone from way back, and if I see them, I'm for sure gonna dap them up and say, "What's up, my nigga?" Because we're that way. That's who we are. You see what I'm saying? But if we stepped out, and I can just tell by the way that we've grown, I'm not gonna use that word. When we're out and about and I'm doing my thing and we're out in the professional setting, or even if I'm just out and about and you just co-mingling around those who are, of different races, it's not a good look, regardless of the fact, because of where it comes from. You get what I'm saying? It all comes back to that. Like, it was already a negative word, so even though people might want to try to look at it as a term of endearment, it's still a negative word. You see what I'm saying? In a sense, except when we use it. When we use it. You see what I'm saying? So even then, what's up? But when it comes down to it overall, hey man, when it comes down to overall, it's like we need my kids just can't be in here talking about nigga. Not in my house. In my food, to think that they don't say it, it ain't never gonna happen. They're gonna say it. Now, I got a 5-year-old too. See, he about to be 5 on the 23rd. I got all ranges. You know what I'm saying? So he can't say it. Like if I heard my 12-year-old say it, I'm gonna be like, dude, you can't be saying that up in here, and I ain't gonna really trip. If my little pedo say it, I'm gonna go in, because first of all, we can't even do all the counting yet. We don't even know how to read. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't about to be here talking about niggas. It's not gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm setting a precedence. Like, you gonna know everything you're supposed to know before you can get to the point of being that whole freedom, because that way you know your boundaries. He knows that when he goes to his private school, he can't be saying nigga in there at 12 years old. You get what I'm saying? He knows that because of the simple fact of the way he's taught and he's raised. So I don't know. Like I think it was a guy, if I'm not mistaken, he said can't really put a age on it because they're gonna do what they want to do anyway. I think it's Daryl who kind of agreed with me on that part. Like, kids gonna be kids, but how you teaching them and how you raising them, they gonna know when it's appropriate to say it. But I don't think you can really control it. But if they're not of age, I would say like that age of accountability. Everybody know it's like around like that 12, 13 age where you know right from wrong for sure. You know the decisions you need to be making.
Consequences.
Man, you know what to say and what not to say. And if you're saying it before that, before you even know how to be accountable for what you're saying, then it's not appropriate for you to say it.
So you're saying once that you understand the consequences and once you understand the meaning surrounding the word, then you can say it, because then you know when not to say it, in other words.
Correct.
All right, Michael, what about you? What's the proper age for a kid to be able to say the word nigga. You and a kid are riding in the car, and your favorite song come on. Okay, and your favorite come on. What's that guy's name? Trinidad James. And the song come on, and you guys are bopping, and they say, nigga, 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 nigga. What age is it okay for your son or a child in the car with you to go ahead and complete that song?
Woo, that age question is a hard one because I think it has to do with the maturity of the child. You know, to kind of jump into the theme of what we've been saying that let's treat the N word as a cuss word, which also means it can't be the same as homie, bro, and what the other guy said. It's the same. No, it's not different. So let's treat it as a cuss word. And obviously, like Carlos said, if I see Carlos on the street, I'm gonna say, hey, that's my nigga. But if I'm introducing him to my boss, I'm gonna say, hey, that's my friend. So you have to know when to use it. Now, my son can start using the word nigga around me the same age he can start cussing around me. That's when he becomes a man. When he starts paying his own bills, when he starts handling his own business, and he can say, hey, dad, that's some fucked up shit, then he can also say nigga to me. That's probably how I feel about it when he becomes a man.
All right, go ahead, Daryl. I see you nodding in agreement. Are you in complete agreement?
He took the words right out of my mouth. When he becomes a grown man, I don't think I've ever said that word around my dad. You know, I'm trying to sit here and remember. I don't think my dad has ever called me a nigger. I don't think my dad has ever called my son a nigger. I don't think my mother has ever called my daughter, my sister's a bitch. I don't think my wife has ever called any. I know my wife has never called my daughters a bitch. So I mean, when he becomes an adult and he feels he's comfortable enough to cuss and stuff like that around me with ease, when he's a man, then he should. But then as a black man, we're gonna have a conversation as, do you know where the word came from, and you know why it was, you know, even how it became Nigger, because those ignorant Caucasians didn't know that the Africans were actually coming from the Niger River, and once they found out that anyway. You know, so we would have a real deep conversation about it, and you know, but still, yeah, when he becomes grown, to answer the question.
Okay, what about you, Marcus?
What age do you become grown?
When you start paying bills, your own bills. When your name is no longer on my insurance, you a man.
I think that's universally accepted.
This particular question, I'm kind of like concurring with everybody, especially the what's his name, Carlos Giz too. That's what I see. The one that's gone. He pretty much hit it on the head with that one. So, it's just all about your uprising with the kids, how you raising them. I got 4, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm in the lead, unfortunately. Am I in the lead? Who got the most?
4.
I got 1.
Oh, somebody with
I
me.
got 4.
Oh, okay. Is that 5 or 4, Kenny?
I got 4.
Oh, okay. We tied up. All right. Well,
All
hey,
different.
Okay.
But it's just all about your uprising with the kids, how you raising them. You know, like if they're gonna be comfortable around you. But like he was saying, that they gotta be well educated as well. You know their ABCs, numbers, you know, mathematics or whatever the case may be, whatever age or whatever grade level they conquering that. So if we jamming the song, I know that's my jam, and she like the song too. Then you know what I'm saying? It's okay. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know she gonna say it behind my back anyway. So why not let them be comfortable around me in the first place? You know, so that's just like come to drinking. Like I hope I have my first drink with my daughter. You know, I hope she drink with me first before she go drink with some dudes. You know what I'm saying?
It's one of those things you'd rather your kids do it around you before they do it around other people.
Right. And we gonna have an understanding about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, okay. Kenny.
Yes, sir.
Are your children mixed?
No, mine are not. Well, some of them are. But it's not black and white. I got one that's my oldest is Rosie. She's white. My second one is half Mexican, Italian, and white. And then.
But none of your kids are black, right?
No, sir.
So let me ask you a question. If someone called your kid a nigger, how would you feel about that?
I mean, I couldn't take offense to it, man, and I would ask my kid how they would feel about it first, and then.
And that's exactly why I don't think you should use the word nigger, because you can't take offense to it. You don't feel you understand the word. You understand the angle behind it. You can't. There's empathy and sympathy. There's empathy and sympathy.
Okay. Well, realize this whole conversation has been why white people shouldn't use it. Well, what about Mexicans?
Well,
What about
I
other
say
races?
I say anyone that's not a
Yeah,
nigga.
but
If you don't have dark skin or like if you're not,
on that.
go ahead.
White people created that word to attack black people. So
Yes,
when
sir.
white people created that word was created by white people to attack and degrade and insult black people. It was not created by white people to insult Mexicans. It was not created by white people to insult other white people. It was not created by white people to insult anybody else other than black. And so, or anybody that, and then now it became to anybody that felt were beneath them. So I think that's the one thing, I would say that's the one reason why they shouldn't be able to, because, am I loud?
No, you're good.
You're okay.
Nah,
sorry,
like,
my
we're
wife-
not
They
gonna
need to hear
we're
it
not
too,
gonna
man.
make you loud, but I felt the same way, like I'm yelling at the damn computer.
I'm sorry, baby. I came downstairs because
Telling you live, bro.
Mo Casey.
my bad, fellas.
Hey, Tyrone.
But say, let me chime
No,
in. So
go ahead.
I think it's
Oh.
a person's environment.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I can be a brother around a bunch of essays. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm the minority in such. So that's a particular word that they be saying. I don't even know what it means, but shoot, they say it so much now I'm saying it, which is way. You know what I'm saying? What's up, way?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
What's
saying?
up,
I ain't
fool?
never said that word in 30 years. Barely even heard it. But I'm hanging around all these essays so much, and now I'm saying the goddamn word. So if you gotta think about it, if Kenny, if he's around a bunch of brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're gonna
They
go ahead
steady
and
saying
send a link to the text.
he gonna eventually
Hey,
see
All you
it
have to
too.
do is click on that.
But Marcus, way means like fool or ass. That word was never used to hurt the Mexican community. But around that same Mexican group, would you call any of them a wetback?
No.
It depends if I'm with, if I just know him, or if I done got comfortable with him, I done known him for some time, then yeah.
Yeah, that, I mean, I got
If
Mexican
it's just
homeboy. I got
a random cat I just pulled up at the bar, then hell no, I ain't gonna say wetback. You know what I'm saying? But if
Exactly.
I've been knowing you for some time or some years or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He probably gonna call me a nigga. I'm gonna call him a back. You know what I'm saying? So
app to go.
again, it's just your
Right,
relationship.
but again,
So you're saying that the comfortability allows it. You're saying, Marcus, once you're comfortable with somebody, pretty much anything
Yeah.
flies.
That's a good word. Yes.
but you guys got to
And
understand,
give
neither
y'all a
one,
little
of,
history. My bad. Go ahead. Daryl.
neither one of those words were created, wetback nor nigger were created by blacks or Mexicans to insult blacks or Mexicans. Please understand that.
Okay.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
But
but
you got to think
outside.
about it. The
I gotta
word
go
has
outside.
basically been changed.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to
You know
say
what I'm
earlier. But it might have been created. It might not have been created by blacks or created by Mexicans, but more blacks use the word than whites now, and more Mexicans calling
No,
each other
well, I mean,
wetbacks now than whites are calling. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just
It's
that's
two
how it's going. So
it's
well,
two separate words now. You got the ER and the A. You know what I'm saying? Who created the word nigga?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is true, but I just heard something like we were talking about kids, right? And like I said, I got 12-year-old, 2 10-year-old girls, and then I got a 5-year-old, well, about to be 5-year-old boy. And I was asking my son, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna ask my son right now. Like he already feels like if I'm asking him a question, he gotta like tell me the ultimate truth, even though I know he be trying to lie, type of stuff, whatever. But I asked him, I said, you know what? How many times do you and your cousin be saying nigga at school? I mean, he like he get offended by it. So I'm not even gonna tell you what he said. I'm just gonna bring him on here in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because it threw me off. It really threw me off on the low. His response. I ain't gonna lie. Like kind of took to me to where now that you're sitting there saying right now, Marcus and Kenny, about the word has been changed. That's exactly how I brought it to him. Like I didn't say nigger. I said, how many times did you and your cousin be like, what's up, my nigga? That's what I said. Like I said, I'm gonna let him speak for himself. I'm not gonna tell you what he said, but it just took me back. And then now we're talking about the word changing. In all actuality, yes, we did put the A on it and took the ER off it on it. And as far as blacks, like Mike said, that's not a problem. Or like Marcus said, I guess if it's your environment, but the whole thing is, you're not gonna ever, Kenny, ever have to worry about someone calling you that, whether and be offended by it. You feel what I'm saying? Never. You're never going to be offended by it. Just like when you said with your kids, My daughter was 9, private school, has never in her life been called a nigger ever. Ever, right? She didn't went to the school that was all black. I didn't took her to the West Coast. We was in Vegas and LA. She been in school with different type of people. No one ever called her that. I took her to this private school out here in Ohio, predominantly white. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she got hit with that. Man, you would have thought that she got slapped for real. You get what I'm saying? Like she was so kind of taken back by it. And when I found out, bro, I was livid. Like we still calling people niggers in 2018 at school with the white kids. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what what Mike is saying, yes, everybody be saying it and they don't mean nothing by it, whatever. But I promise you, anybody hear that, and if you really, really think about it too, you just being cool with it. But if he ever in life, your homeboy that you've been knowing forever that says nigga every time, let him put the ER on it one time, and he's supposed to be your boy, you're going to whoop his ass. And that's just what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Period.
I agree with that.
All right,
I agree with that. That is 100% correct.
All right, I got another question. Guy, I want to ask you this question. In your opinion, when did the word nigga start to evolve and be cool, and what precipitated that change?
Man, I'm just going to say my opinion is on the R versus the ER had to be maybe late 70s, early 80s, maybe, I don't know, that's a good question, but I just say from my own personal experience and knowledge of experience in life, when hip-hop first started back in the early 80s with, breaking and pop locking and things like that, I mean, I don't even remember nigger being an issue back then, but I want to say it was probably around that time when it evolved. I don't know.
When did the Mac come out?
Well,
Go ahead, Daryl.
the 90s.
The 90s? What do you think? What do you think, Mike?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I think that's when the word got popular. The word got popularized in the '90s when when hip hop just really blew up. Because like black, it was always an insult. It's always been an insulting word. It's always until the '90s. I think.
It got popular.
I don't know.
It got popular. Like, we talked not long ago. We said that when the word nigga got monetized. When it got monetized. When the white man decided they can make a profit off the word is when it got big. If the word was still being used, if we didn't change the word to make it a word that was a term of endearment, it was still a word that hurt people, no one would want to use it. No one would care about the word. I feel like my guy in the blue shirt, what's your name? Daryl. Daryl's asking this question since we started. Why would you want to use the word? And I actually want to hear, hopefully Tyrone, I would like to ask this question to Kenny. Why do you want to use the word anyway? Not being a black man, why do you want to use the word nigga?
Because it just represents a friend to me.
There's a million other words. There's a million other words that represent friend. Why the word nigga?
Okay, because it was popularized. Like, okay, we can go back to the music thing with Tupac and everybody else bumming up and saying it all the time. Okay, growing up listening to Tupac or Biggie or whoever, you know what I'm saying? We listen to that and we sing the song, and then it becomes a second nature. Just like old boy was saying, Marcus was saying when he's around the Mexican dudes and they say "way" all the time. It's the same. We're around it. So me especially, because I live in Louisiana, man. I work with 90% black dudes, man. I got one turkey dude and one other white dude on my crew at work, So
does it make you feel like you're one of us, like you're our brother when you use that word? Is that what it is?
I can't, because I don't want to lie to you, and I can't say that it does. I don't know. It's just a second nature kind of thing, man. I guess it's just something that it's said, but. It's nigga, not with an ER on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna. I don't know, man. I don't want to say it wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Michael, is it a double standard that you can say it and that Kenny can say it?
Oh yeah, like I said, it's a double standard. Tyrone, what do you call your wife? I'm pretty sure I have a nickname for her. What do you call her?
I don't know. Nickname?
Yeah, what's the term? What's the term of endearment for your wife? What do you call when you come in? You don't call her by her name. What do you call her?
I kick you in the door and say, "Hey, baby." That's what it would say.
Now,
Not
hey, baby is a regular word, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, let's say you invited me over,
Mhm.
and I was said, hey, baby, to your wife, would you not put hands on me?
It matter how you say it, since a baby could be used in kind of friendly of a term.
If I called your wife baby, if I called your wife baby, you would kick me out your house.
Yes, kickings would happen, hands would fly, things of that nature. I get what you're saying. And
So yeah, it is a double standard because we are in this brotherhood, and I can't hide this brotherhood. This brotherhood is on my skin. I walk out the house, and I'm in this brotherhood. And Kenny, you're not in that brotherhood. Not saying you're not a cool guy, but you're not in that brotherhood. And so, like Daryl said, I'm still just shocked that people who are not black want to even use the word.
All right, well, hold on. Well, wait, before we go there, and I see you up there. Give me 1 second, Marcus. Back to you, Guy. What do you think about that, Guy? Because for some reason, it seems to almost be like an indictment on Kenny for wanting to use it. But at the same time, you do believe that it should be a universal word. Hold on 1 second. But at the same time, Guy, you believe the word should be universal. So what do you have to say to the guys who are telling Kenny that he shouldn't be able to say it? What's your opinion?
No, wait. Nobody said he shouldn't be able to say it.
No.
The question is, why would you want to say it?
Why would you want to say it? But Mike said that he shouldn't be able to say it. Carlos, before he left, he said that anybody can say it except for a white person. And Marcus says that anybody can say it. So, and Guy says that anybody can be able to say it because it's something that can be monetized. So what do you have to say to people who are messing up your monetary visions, Guy? Because they're saying he shouldn't be able to say it at all.
Well, I think we've tapped on this topic a couple times, and that being the issue of other similar terms that people use to pigeonhole women, to pigeonhole other ethnicities. Obviously, I think what we also touched in the very beginning is this word nigga has a very steep connotation to it in history, and it's very steep, points it to African Americans and Africans. I mean, back to the motherland. So, I again, since I'm multiracial, my mom's white, my dad's black. I grew up in a multicultural family. Like I said, I taught for 22 years. I coached for 15. Well, coached for 10, ran for 15. It's always going to come back to that one single solitary issue, and that's going to be surroundings. I don't have any problem with Kenny saying nigger. I mean, if he wants to say nigger around his friends, he can say nigger all day long. I mean, I really don't see the semantics between nigga and nigger. It's going to be who's saying it, what is the connotation of why they're saying it. I like what Daryl said about the issue of why would you want to say either one, but I don't subjugate any one person, whether their ethnic background is connected to African Americans or not, to be able to say the word. It's just that simple.
All right, Marcus, do you think that anybody should be able to say the word actually nigger?
Next to me.
Wait, go ahead, Daryl.
Almost got called a nigga. The way you get me off.
Daryl got bad service.
We can't hear you.
Me?
Yeah, we can't hear you, Daryl.
Yeah, I think he lost service.
All right, Marcus, are you still there?
Yeah, I disconnected him. Go ahead.
And Mark, how do you feel about that? Do you feel that anybody should be able to actually use the word nigger if it's a certain level of comfort amongst friends? Should they actually be able to use the word nigger? Does it bother you to that point?
If they saying it towards me, you know what I'm saying? It's a different story. But if it's just amongst each other, that's their conversation. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna be involved in their combo. I'm just not gonna be that nosy. You know what I'm saying? But if they gonna say it, towards me or whatnot, then that's a different story. So if it's just amongst them, they saying that word and a whole lot of other words. You know what I'm saying? So that's them.
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying with that. Like, if I was walking down the street and I heard Kenny say the word nigga, I'll probably shake my head and keep on moving. What comes out his mouth ain't gonna make me no money, so I don't care. I definitely get that. But like, let's say he said it towards me, then that'll be a whole different issue.
I've been called it, you know what I'm saying? I'm from West Texas, you know what I'm saying? I've been around those type of white folks, you know what I'm saying? Riding around with the rebel flags or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? I heard the word. I've been disrespected with it. I've been jumped with it, you know what I'm saying? I got negative stories with it. But now that how things has been, you know what I'm saying, done changed over time, just the society and things of that nature, we done, it's a whole nother, it's two words we basically debating on. Two words now. It originated with one, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't convert it over to two. And the last time I heard it is basically what back I was trying to mention early back in the 70s, when the movie The Mac came out. That was using the nigga. You know what I'm saying? I think that's when the word started. Nigga,
Black
please.
exploitation movies.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then shoot, as time progressed, everybody in the hood saying it, then everybody move out to the hood, to the suburbs. Now the white folks getting attached to it. So, oh, we got a new head. And look, I know she say nigga with that type of title.
All right, we have somebody new on. We have Erica on. Erica, who should be able to say the word nigga? What do you want to say? What do you want to chime in and say? You've been in the comments. State your piece.
Volume is not working. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So this is how I feel about it. In the climate that we're in, with the president that we have, it's not acceptable for any non-black person to say it. It's kind of like that little Dicky song that came out with Chris Brown, where Chris Brown is acting like Little Dicky, but he says, nigga, 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 I can say it now. And then you see a bus full of white girls from the volleyball team all saying nigga. It gives license to people to say it. And it is still offensive to a lot of other people. So my thing is, when you give an excuse because, oh, I know him and that's my homeboy to say it, it creates license for other people who don't feel like that's their homeboy to use it in a derogatory way. So my thing is, cut it all out amongst anybody that's not black.
So if that's the case, cut out all the cuss words then. Bitch, you know what I'm saying? Cut that out too. You feel me? If my daughter come on saying somebody call her a nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like her and her homegirls, it ain't no thing. But if a dude disrespect her, which is what a white person would do saying the word
But if your daughter came home and told you that a dude called her a bitch, what would you
know
feel?
What I'm saying? That's gonna pretty much be the same thing as a white person, you know what I'm saying, calling her a nigga. But unless it was another brother calling her that, I ain't tripping. But if that brother calling her a bitch, you know what I'm saying, disrespectfully, we back to where we started with the N-word.
Okay, so Erica, basically what you're saying is by saying it in the first place, that's giving other people a license to say it in a negative way. Does anybody else agree with that fact?
Not a negative way, but a license to say it.
What's up, fellas, ladies?
How you doing, Duke? Go ahead, state your opinion.
Good. Thanks for inviting me in. You know what? I would have to actually catch up to where you guys left off here, because I don't know what the last. I want to kind of get into the flow of traffic there.
Okay. Well, where we're at right now is Erica just said that she doesn't think anybody should be able to use the word nigga because it's giving license to other people to be able to use it in a negative fashion.
She said non-black. She said non-blacks.
Non-blacks. And so we're right there in that area in between. Should only blacks be able to say it? Is it okay for whites to be able to say it? Or should the word not be used at all? And so that pretty much leaves you abreast of where we are. So I'll ask you this: should the word nigga be used at all by anybody?
Well, I think the proper way to answer that would be are we willing and ready to stop the culture behind the whole thing, whether it's lyrics and music or whether it's enjoying a movie and laughing at it when the word nigga comes across. So once we put a complete stop to it lyrically, we're just going to continue to promote it. And if you're promoting it, now you're asking the white audience to completely stop listening to your music. When they write, they might really enjoy it. So if they really enjoy your music, they're enjoying the lyrics. They're gonna want. I don't know if you guys can hear all that nonsense. They're gonna want to sing the lyrics exactly for what it is. So
right.
That's my view on it. Let me see if I can stop this.
So let me say this. And I feel like it's not so much just even the word nigga, because nigga's a tough word. It also has to do with the whole point that they're the new words they say they're being culture vultures. The jarheads call each other, you're in the Navy or Marines, they call each other squid. They call each other squids. If you're in the Navy, you can call another Navy guy a squid, and that's okay with them. But if a Marine said it, there'll be a fight. So let's say we take away the word nigga, and it was just a different word. We call each other bopper heads or something. That would still be our term. That would be our term of endearment, and no one outside of that group should be able to use it. Let it be the word was fly bros. Whatever the word is, if it's in that group for that term of endearment, it should be within that group. And no other term of endearment is broken like that except for the word nigga. No one else calls anyone else's wife baby. No one else calls Marines squid heads or jar heads, or no other term of endearment is encroach like the word nigga.
That whole popular. That's why.
Right.
So let me ask all of you this question, because I see we got Kenny. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I gave big up for Kenny for even being a part of this group, because
Yes, big ups to Kenny.
I think it needs.
Oh yeah, what's up? That's definitely nice.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I think that needs to happen a lot more, because
Definitely.
I'm gonna take you guys. I'm gonna take you guys here. I grew up in the '70s, and I can remember the TV show called Roots, right? The little mini series that would come on, and it was about slavery, right? They would play this mini series like clockwork once a year or whatever, whenever it was. It would always come on, and you got O.J. Simpson played, then you got LeVar Burton that played Toby or whatever, and it kind of dawned on me, it's like, why do they play this so much in the black community? And my take on it is, this is a way to remind us to hate our white neighbors. It's almost like a remind you to hate them so you don't unite with them in any way. You don't create this brotherhood, because we need to keep you at a certain state of mind. And it's not even only that. It's other things. It's everything that we watch on TV. It's the media. They have a way to shape your mindset or sway the way you vote or think in a way. So to me, this whole discussion about the word nigga, I think it's just offensive simply because we haven't we give too much energy, we give too much feelings towards the word itself. And if it was never such a turn on to some people, when they use it, they just go crazy, like, oh, you said nigga, you said nigga, and be ready to, throw gloves at people. I mean, right. if it was never, if it can just, I guess what I'm saying, if it can just dissipate the whole amplification of it, it's just amplified this day and age, and I believe that somebody is playing right off of that, because they know our feelings. They know that we go from 0 to 100.
Right. So essentially, what you're saying is it shouldn't be that deep. We shouldn't even be looking that deep into the word, because we take it too much to heart. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the word, we know the word is deep, so that's never going to change. We know the word is deep.
We give it too much power.
However, if we can come to terms where we can say, okay, we're actually in a different day and age right now. Here's the way I see it. I think that we're being played in some way. We're being targeted, and someone is, whatever entity, they're actually enjoying every time that little seed is thrown in there, and they can create this animosity between our brothers and sisters, whether it's our people or the white community, because the division is there, and it's actually hurtful, because I have a lot of white friends, and I lost a lot of my own black family members and black friends just because I speak different, and I might have a different opinion on something. They call you all the names. I find that it's unfortunate, but I found that my own family members and friends closest to me, they show signs of racism more than any white person in my life that ever.
This one technically on the other side.
Oh, we
Oh,
heard
my, so we good.
some background from somebody. Does anybody have anything to chime in on what he was just saying?
I
I
do.
agree
I just got something to say.
a whole
I
lot.
get
Yeah.
I get what he's saying. But we are actually one of the only cultures that allows everything to be given up. You have you go to LA, you have
Come
Little
on now.
China, you have Little China, you have Little Italy, you have Little Korea. We are the only culture that says, you know what, let's let them in, and we don't circulate our dollars, we don't circulate our things, and we don't keep it amongst ourselves. We've given up all division, and we try to integrate to every other culture. But when people try to integrate our culture, it's only to take from it, but not to give into it. So with that being said, like I get what he's saying, like it puts a division, but honestly, sometimes that division is great because we have to really build within ourselves.
Go ahead, Daryl. You have something to add?
I mean,
Daryl,
yeah.
go
Can y'all
ahead.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
Um, I don't even know where to begin. Go, just go to the next part.
Nah, I want to hear Daryl. I want to hear what Daryl has to say. Go ahead, get in there,
Whole
man.
lot, man. There's like a whole lot of stuff I wanted to address, but
Go ahead.
no other word. Like, okay, in the black community, when you look at it, that one word, there have been so many black. That was the last word that so many of our ancestors heard before they died. You know what I'm saying? That was the last word they heard. So I don't think we should call each other that, honestly. Keep it real. I don't think we should call each other that. But I definitely don't think other people should. But if you do say it, you know, is it in the form of entertainment, or is it out of anger, or is it trying to be cool? But sometimes I'm gonna just keep it. This is not geared toward Kenny on the line, because I got a lot of respect for you, dude. If I know you please best friend, you know, one of his best friends. But I've always wondered, when white people use that word around black people, are they using it just to get away with it? You know what I'm saying? Just to, I'm calling you a nigger to your face. You know, and I've always wondered if there's a little bit of that in there, because there's so many other ways. What up, my dude? What up, my boy? What up, my the rap? They don't. Rap stars have a bigger vocabulary than.
Kenny, I guess what he's trying to ask is, yeah, he's breaking up. I think what he's trying to ask is, since the word is so universally used, is that a good time? Does that make it okay for white people to just kind of slide it in because they know that it still angers some people?
Well, I can see
Right.
the point in that.
I can't hear him.
Go ahead and answer, Kenny. Hold on, Daryl. You're going to have to start over in a second because you broke up. And Erica, we're going to come to you and Carlos next.
Okay. Thing about white people, man, we let things go, right? A lot of things don't bother us as much as it might bother
Not
the
white
black
You
community.
talking for yourself? Hold on, you talking for yourself right there? That's not a culture thing for y'all.
Hold on. Let him finish, and we're going to swing over to you, Erica.
We do let a lot of things go, man, because I mean, there's been so many times that we could have picked fights and didn't, you know, because there's no real point in it. Now, I've been listening to y'all talk a lot, man, and y'all say that the word is so derogatory, and it meant the worst things back in the day, you know, when slavery and everything and all this stuff. If it was such a derogatory word, then how come it's used so much in the black community? How come it's used so much? Why would it be okay for them to use it?
It's ours, though.
Well, hold on.
It's ours, though.
Hold
Like,
on.
black people didn't create that word black people didn't create that word to use it as poison against each other. You understand?
Right,
It's different, dude. It's just,
Hold on,
understand
Daryl.
that.
Erica, go ahead and answer his question, Erica.
So how I feel about it, similar to what Chopper was saying. Oh, Daryl Chopper, is sorry.
terms of
Is
endearment.
it? We didn't create the word. Actually, if you look at the word NIGR or NIGRIOS in Latin, in Spanish, and all of that, it means the color black. It was white people who ripped us from where we belonged and started using that term to call us black in a derogatory way, to say that we were less than. And they still do it today. And so my issue with people saying that is, like, we keep referring to it as, oh, well, it was when slavery. Y'all act like racism don't exist. in 2018. It exists now, and so people use it in a
every
hurtful
race,
way.
in every race, not just black race. It's in every race.
That's a fact.
No, and I understand that. There's racism, period, point blank. So any term that was created, especially from a white person, I'm sorry, you guys, white people took us and they used that word in a hurtful way. So even in 2018, just because you think it's okay now, it's not okay. I'm sorry, it's not.
Okay, well,
because my question
if
would be,
we created
what
a word,
do white people tell their children about how the word would, like when white people have the conversation about the word with their children, do they say, well, it's okay to say it around your black friends? Like, how is that, like, okay, like, how is that word explained, or how is that even broken down to Caucasian children? Like, is it said, okay, well, actually, it's a word that our ancestors used for them to degrade, but now it's cool to use because they use it. You know, like, what's the justification?
Okay, I've never.
Good question, Daryl.
Go ahead, Kenny. Where are you going to?
Okay, it hasn't been explained in my family because my kids are still young. You know, my oldest is only 10 years old, so I mean I haven't had to explain that to my kids, but they're gonna know not to use it in a derogatory statement. And it's the same thing that goes for a female that gets called a bitch. If I see a dude sitting there calling a female a bitch, I'm the kind of person that's gonna step in and say, hey man, watch out, bro, don't do that. And if I hear a white dude call a black dude a nigger, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna step up and say, hey man, we don't talk like that, man. You need to have a little bit more respect than that. You know, that's how I am. Now, as far as the word, you're saying it's y'all's word, it's y'all's word. If whites created it, how come it's y'all's word? Because if we created it, technically it'd be our word, right?
Yep.
I mean, so let's turn that around a little bit. Now, if I do agree, there is racism. There's always going to be racism. There's no way to stop racism because there's people that have that one-track mind that doesn't want to understand other communities. And y'all were telling me, thanking me for joining in on this. And this is one of the reasons why I do this, because I do want to learn. I do want to understand. And I do want to respect y'all as a community, or the black community, as you want to say it. You know, I don't want to be disrespectful to nobody. And as far as it goes, man, if y'all say it's in the black community and it's only the blacks can say it, I hate to tell you this, and this is with all due respect, nobody will ever tell me that I can't say something. And as far as it goes, Tyrone knows me better than anybody. I mean, I've hung out with him, and I've talked some deep conversations with him. You know, we all bleed the same color, no matter what, right? We all have a lot in common. Social media tears us apart, and other people tear us apart, and they try to segregate us. And that's what it's just like what this word is doing, and it's segregating us, and it's tearing us apart further and further and further. Oh, well, you can't say it because you're white. We don't care about the Mexicans. They can say it, and we don't care about other black people. They can say it, but you can't say it because you're white. So that makes me feel that you're a racist because you don't want me to say it. You see what I'm saying? So
is that part of?
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Is that part of you wanted to say? Is the fact that people are telling you can't say it? Is that kind of like you're proving the point? Like, I'm gonna say it because I've been told I can't say it.
No, well, that can be part of it, but if I would say that would be true, then I would mean the word in a derogatory way, and I don't mean it in a derogatory way. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I got a question. for you.
I was gonna say something right quick.
Go ahead, Carlos.
You said it's like it's keeping us segregated. Like, you should be able to say it. Like, no disrespect, we didn't start no segregation, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all started segregation. So, like, why is it that y'all should be able to do what should be ours? And excuse my thing. Like, I know when you said it's ours, as far as like it's not, y'all made it up. You know, I know you're just being funny, whatever. But I'm saying y'all did make up nigger, but we made up nigga. You feel what I'm saying? So therefore, my thing is, it's not your word, and it's not, and to be crying about being, and not saying crying like you're crying. I'm saying to be talking about we're segregating it when we're still segregated. Like, to this day, like, if we go somewhere right now, I bet you're more accepted in certain spots than I am. Off top, and I'm really,
Starbucks.
I got a degree.
Starbucks.
I got a bachelor's. I went to
You
school.
guys going off topic.
I work with all kind of people
Yeah.
that's like from whites to Asians to whatever. But I promise you, it's still in my workplace right now. Everybody try to play the cool, and we are cool. But at the end of the day, his parents and his parents' parents and his parents come from something different. And you might have been raised different, bro, but your grandparents was raised a certain way, and your grandparents parents was raised a certain way. And I promise you, just because of the fact that you're white, just be talking about segregated, and you should be able to say it when we can't even do, excuse my French, but we can't do a lot of shit even still right now. Like, and you want to talk about it's racism everywhere. How come that racism ain't exploded like we is? They don't show white people getting killed and gunned down and shit. They show us getting gunned down. You know what I'm saying?
Now that was on a. I understand that. And that was on that topic that we had on the last time I was on. Was social media does that? That's not just people doing that or a certain race. A lot of social media does that. They're going to show the black man getting killed because they want certain people to hate the black man.
All right, you guys. All right, you guys. We're starting to veer off the topic a little bit. I want to come back. Your name is Mo Casey Duke. It says Duke on your screen.
Yeah, Duke. Mo
Okay,
KC.
Duke. Okay. Do you feel as if rap and hip hop have a responsibility in the way that they use the word nigga? Do you think they've been unresponsible with the word up to this point?
Well, if they want to change what we have going on right now, this discussion, if you want to change this discussion, then you're gonna want to change the lyrics. And if you're not willing to change the lyrics, then we can't ask people who are white not to say that word, and we turn around and get offended when they're simply singing the song. Because I think the lines are blurred to the point where we don't have a way of distinguishing a real racist person who is saying the word nigga when they're singing our songs, or when they're singing our music. So I think culturally the music is what it is. Lyrically, it is what it is. And it's always going to be accepted that way. I mean, it's a trendy thing. We always come up with trendy things, trendy words, swag, and then people use it. It's now the new thing. So I think that it needs to be accepted regardless, because whenever we say that whenever it's not accepted, I think it showcases the fact that we're not ready to move forward and we're going to keep looking back. I think that the more we move forward and ignore those kind of things that trigger us, in a sense, I think the whole animosity part of it will start to dissipate, and we'll start to unify. We'll start to unify because, like Kenny said earlier, and like I mentioned earlier about the social media, we are in a sense conditioned and reminded to think a certain way. When you look at something, it touches on certain strings, in our lifestyle or in our personality or what happened to us in the past. So the moment we can start seeing things like culturally, when they start, matter of fact, they even remastered the Roots. They came back and started playing it again. And I'm like, I mean, are we learning Black history, or are we being conditioned to think a certain way? Because I don't know about you guys, but when you watch boxing or when you watch a good kung fu movie, back in the day, back when you were a kid, you all of a sudden you ready to go, you ready to go fight something. I think it's the same exact concept that's happening to us when we watch certain things, that deals with slavery. I don't think there's a person who can admit or that will deny that it don't make you feel a certain kind of way. And what that does is it excludes or it segregates us mentally right there. So once you're finished watching that, you hate what happened. And then your neighbor next door that you just had a meal with, barbecue last week, you're reminded all over again to look at him a certain way, as if he has something to do with what happened to us way back then. And this is not to say that racism doesn't exist, because it does. We understand that.
All right, Erica, I have a question for you, Erica.
Can I respond real quick? About the music?
I was going to ask you about the music, and then I was going to come to Michael and ask him the same thing.
So when it comes to music, they are artists and they are entitled, especially black artists. I'm going to say this, and I hope nobody takes it the wrong way. Rap music was not made for white people. I'm sorry. Hip hop was not made for white people, whether y'all want to believe it or not. Black rappers monetize off of it, but it's not made for them. And so as an artist of expression, and they're an artist and they're rapping about their stories and what they're trying to convey, and if they use the word nigga to do that, that doesn't give license for a white person to use it because they like the song. That's just my personal opinion.
So do you think Eminem is not credible then as a rapper in a black community?
I'm sorry, say that again.
So and
No,
therefore Eminem,
he's credible, but he ain't never used the word nigga.
so what if he did? Would that change the whole dynamics of who Eminem is, in your
Oh
opinion?
yeah,
Yes,
by all
absolutely.
means, yes.
Because you don't, absolutely. It's no different than Tekashi 6ix9ine and Lil Bump. They're Hispanic.
But wait a
They are
minute.
100%
Sorry, hold on.
Hispanic, and they
But you
use the
just
word
said,
nigga, and it's not okay.
You probably ain't gonna say it on
okay,
the song,
let's
but I
take
bet
that
you
word
saying it
nigga.
on Dre.
Let's take the word nigga. I'm sorry.
Would you say, Marcus? Go ahead,
I
Marcus.
bet you he's saying it back home on the belt. What's the name of his little street? I bet you saying it back home with his homeboys.
Who's saying it at home
Eminem.
with his homeboys?
Eminem.
Eminem.
8 Mile. I bet you said on 8 Mile.
And
Eminem.
I think there was one time that Eminem did say nigga in the song, and I think he got some backlash because of it.
Because it's all about marketing. You know what I'm saying?
Am I correct, Guy? Do you know about
Yeah.
that? Do you remember that?
He
sounds right.
He
That
said it.
sounds
He
about
said
right.
it once. He said, you know what? It's so funny. That's actually a great point because he said it once. And as much as he said he's part of the black culture, he's hip hop. He used the word nigga once, and it was actually condescending because his girl broke up with him. It was a black girl, and he used it to hurt her. So as much as you want to say you're part of the crew and you're one of us, and it's hip hop and it's black, he used the word once in his whole career, and it was negative. And that proves the difference.
Oh,
Okay, but going back to her
Oh.
point of, I don't mean to call her her, but I didn't see what her name was. It was like a couple
Erica.
letters.
My name is Erica.
nigga.
Erica. Okay, how you doing, Erica?
HNIC.
Okay.
That's her acronym on the
Go
bottom. of the
figure.
screen.
He uses that.
Let me go back and let's take the word nigga completely out when we were referring to Eminem. She mentioned that rap music was made and catered to us, our people, the black community. So therefore, Eminem should not be credible at all, regardless of the word nigga. Because she's saying that rap music
ahead,
for our
Erica.
people.
I can put up a mute sign.
We can't hear you. You're getting bad service until she comes back. Go ahead and answer, Mike.
Well, let me say this too about the rap music using the word nigga. So let's say there's I'm gonna overestimate. Let's say there's 200 hip hop and rap artists that use the word nigga, and when they are using it, they are talking to us, other black people. Let's say they are saying it's okay to use the word nigga when their white friends rap. That's 200 people out of the millions of black people. They do not speak for all of us because they're monetizing it. So I don't care if Jay-Z said, hey, yeah, my white fans can use the word nigga. He doesn't speak for the black community.
But they only just saying it to him, not to the black community.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because Jay-Z gave the okay, or because Ja Rule or 50 Cent gave the okay, doesn't mean that the black community in a whole gave the okay. So we're saying, did the rappers make it okay? They probably did because they're making money off of it.
Because they going to their shows, they buying their music.
They're making money off of it, but that does not. But the black community did not say okay. So who cares what the rapper says about it?
So that's kind of going back to Guy's original point. When he said that it should be okay because it could be monetized. What you guys are saying is essentially it's already being monetized by the rap community, but since everybody else isn't getting the dividends from that monetization, then we don't think it's okay. So rappers, it's okay because they're monetizing off of it, but the rest of us, it shouldn't be okay because we're not monetizing off of it. Is that what you're saying, Michael?
I'm not saying that it should be okay. I'm saying they're okay with it. Like I don't know if you ever saw that. Who was it? It was I forgot who the comedian was, but he was talking about where him and Flavor Flav were on a show, and they were calling. I think it was Cat Williams, and they were calling Flavor Flav like a coon this, coon that, or making fun of them, and at the end, Flavor says, "I don't care. You have to pay me, boy." It's the same way. Like if I was getting paid off of it, then I probably wouldn't worry too much about it. I'll probably come home and talk smack about it. But if I'm making money to feed my children, I'm gonna use it as a tool to do what I need to do. But as a whole, no, we're not getting paid off of it. We're not monetizing out of it. And, if I got paid $1, if Kenny wants to give me $1 every time he's a word nigga, I will let him. Put it that way.
So put it like, I think we're assuming rappers think it's okay. And I've been watching a lot of The Breakfast Club. It's a show that comes on syndicated, and they interview a lot of artists, and they've been asking this question over and over again to all kind of rappers, and almost unanimously, and this is famous rappers, unanimously people are saying no, it's not okay. And so I think we're assuming rappers think it's okay for their white fans to say it, but if you listen to interview and do some research, a lot of them don't think it's appropriate.
But I bet you if they was at the show saying they song, knowing there's about hundreds of white folks out there in the crowd, they're gonna put that mic out there to let them say it. You see what I'm saying? So they probably saying something on the air.
Not really. Not on the part of it, nigga. I go to a lot of concerts. Not really. I want to see Kendrick tomorrow or Sunday. And not really. They don't. I've been to Jay-Z's concert. I've been to a lot of concerts. I've been to Lil Wayne. I've been to Drake. And they don't really do it on the nigga part. It be the hook. That's the catchy part, the chorus. But it don't be on no nigga. I haven't seen it.
Okay,
no,
so
they just
look.
use nigga a lot when they're ad-libbing. When they get the crowd hype, they nigga, hey, y'all niggas feel good? Yo, yeah, hey, y'all niggas, come on over here.
Sound like DMX.
Okay, so look, let's go. Go ahead, guy.
I was just gonna say, I would be really interested because I don't go to concerts. I'm sorry, I'm not into that commercialization. So I'm the big music industry ain't making no money off me. But what I'm saying is, I would really be interested because I see Erica said that, she has knowledge that I don't have, which is the idea that, these rap artists or whoever use these lyrics say that unanimously that they don't think that other people should use it. I mean, I don't know what other people are talking about. We're talking about non-blacks, okay. But I would be interested to hear the opinion of whether or not these people use a disclaimer at their concerts before they use those songs, songs where they say nigga,
No, they don't do that.
Don't want y'all to use this word, and y'all don't sing along or don't repeat this term because you may get.
Can I say something?
I'm curious about that.
Yes, go ahead.
To Guy's point, I can actually validate that rappers like, let's say old school rappers like Dr. Dre, I can't say Eminem. Rappers like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg.
Thank you.
To be honest, they really don't care what ethnicity. If you're white, black, Indian, it don't matter. If you're singing their lyrics for what they are. I worked with Dre personally. I was actually signed to the Aftermath back in the day, old school. He had a lot of white engineers and white people who were just surrounding him, and we're in the studio, we bobbing our heads, and they're singing it. I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that he knew them, but there was no cultural barriers where someone was excluded if you were a different ethnicity.
He helped make that $1 million hit.
Exactly. That's right. So,
but I bet KRS-One and Rakim and Reverend Run and all them cats will have a real good problem with it, and that's where hip hop came from. You see what I'm saying? So
they were more like activists. So yeah, you got a good point there. Guess too. That's a good point because KRS-One, he didn't play that. People like Busta Rhymes used to be like that, but he kind of crossed over to the point where he don't care. So I think it has something to do with actually growing out of certain things and letting it go and moving forward. Because to be honest with you, culturally, you can't stop this, because if you try to stop it, what you're doing is you're feeding into the division. And if we're going to move forward as America, we shouldn't care who the heck use our words lyrically, because it's what's in the mind and the heart. For example, if a white dude is going to say nigga and you're going to go and beat him up because of it, later you're going to find out that he got a white wife with like 3, 4, 5 kids. You just beat up a white dude that said nigga because you assume that he's racist.
7:45.
and he's not. So what I'm saying is, I mean, at some point we just got to move forward. We have to move forward if we, because if not, we're going to just continue to play right into the narrative with the mainstream media like feeding us. You know, it's all about divide and conquer, and they need us this way. Same reason why they got mad at Kanye West to the point where he's getting death threats, because he decided to sway a little bit to the other side.
Let's not bring into this.
Was slavery a choice? But no.
Let's not go there this evening.
We don't have to go there, but I'm just going to ask this question. Let me ask this question. Is life a choice? In other words, can you choose whether when you wake up in the morning, do you choose whether you want to live or die? Because that is a choice.
Absolutely.
People,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
When people want to abort their child, they make a decision whether they want to bring life into this child's world, or do they want to end that child right there. That's a choice. If all of these things was a choice, if you could choose to let someone live or kill someone or yourself, I don't see how one could say and get mad when they say slavery was a choice, or after 400 years it should have been a choice. Or it seems like a choice, I should say. Sorry about that.
Look, we might have to come back and touch on that one. That's a whole different comment in itself.
Using this N-word is a choice.
Just Kanye West is a good topic. Forget the slavery.
Let's just get a quick.
Yeah, Marcus made a point. The N-word is a choice, though. That is a good point.
Okay, and let's just get a quick answer, just get a quick consensus again, just so we can see where everybody is. We started with this question. I'm going to ask again, so we could be clear.
T, what happened with Buddy's son? Yes,
Carlos, he asked what happened with your son.
Oh, I mean, we kind of like went to a different lane with the kids thing. So it's getting kind of late out here too. It's like almost like 11:15. And so they got school tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's getting late, and we're going to wrap this up here soon. So I was going to just ask a quick question again. Who could say the word nigga? Everybody just keep it short and just keep it clear, and let's just and stay focused on the answer. Start with you, Marcus. Who could say the word nigga? All right?
Everybody.
Go ahead, guy.
Oh, you went back to me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to endorse what I said before, because I'm obviously a globalist. I believe that anybody and everybody can say whatever word they choose to say. They just need to think about their surroundings. They need to be aware of the contextual use of the word. If they don't have any historical understanding or basis for the idea or the terminology, whether it be something derogatory like wetback, honky, nigga, bitch, or the like, they need not be saying it. But as far as my globalism perspective is, anybody can say any word they want to, period.
All right. What about you, Carlos?
I mean, we can't stop nobody from saying nothing. So, yeah, they can say what they want to say. But it's all about, I'm going to stick with the should. And should it be said, I can feel all the points from we should get past it, all that. I'm not so affected if I got hit with it. Like if somebody called me, like I'm just gonna go. I got family to think about. You know what I'm saying? I care about my family more than a word, so I'm not tripping on that. But we all are adults. We're all grown, and we know when we should and not say something, whether it be a derogatory term towards a female or whether it be saying nigga or whatever. And I feel like for it to be, it's more accepted among us, and so we should just keep it that way.
All right. What about you, Kenny? Who should be able to say the word nigga?
I mean, I've listened to everybody's points, and I mean, I'm still in the same boat too, man. I think it's an open book for anybody to say what they want to say, but and I can understand Marcus and Mr. Darrell was talking about when is it appropriate, when it's not appropriate, and why would you even be appropriate. So the whole conversation right here has opened up my eyes a little bit more, you know, and I can feel where some people can get disrespected by certain things, you know, and that's one thing that the black community can get disrespected by. And me just asking you or asking y'all as a community is don't jump right into the disrespect thing right off hand. Maybe like Duke was saying, maybe somebody that didn't said it and they ain't racist at all said it, you know. and they didn't mean nothing by it. You know, it just, hey man, what's up, my homeboy, or whatever. But it sounds funny when if I walk up to somebody and say, man, what's up, my homeboy. It just doesn't sound right, like the like other one would flow off the tongue or whatever. So maybe somebody's not meaning it in a racist term, so just kind of be open minded to that. But it is what it is.
So parenthetically, you're saying everybody should be able to say it, just as long as they're saying it out of respect. Duke, go ahead. Who should be able to say the word nigga?
All my people, my whole entire Asian family, my El Salvadorian daughter, and all of their people, because they married into it. So I'm not going to say that they don't love black people. They get they get the pass for me, because I know who they are. I know their hearts. We intermingled. We mingled with the Mexican community. That side of the family. Right there. Salvadorian, like my daughter, her half of the family, and it's just like one big blend of happiness.
So be specific. Anybody can say it, or anybody who identifies with someone black.
Well, realistically, anybody can't say it for the simple fact that we still have this. It's still an issue, and we have to figure out what the issue if we're going to be able to move forward. So I get you. I get what you keep it short. So I think everybody can't say it. It's all the people who or the people that know the community, if they can say it or been saying it for years. Everybody can't say it.
See, my question is, how do you determine that to a blind stranger? If we're riding the bus together and you feel as if you're part of the global majority, how do I, as a person next to you, know if you're ingrained in that culture, or if you're just saying the word? How do I decipher the two?
The ER and the A. That's how you decipher.
Not between the ER and the A. Okay, come to word. Okay, and I'm about to come to you, Erica. I'm going to come to you. Matter of fact, I'm going to come to you first. Who could say the word nigga?
So, in my personal opinion, Nigga, Nigger, if you're not black, you shouldn't say it, period. I'm going to stand by my point of whether it's your friend and it's an acquaintance. I have plenty of white friends and plenty Hispanic, Asian acquaintances and people that I know. I still don't think that you should say it if you're non-black, because it gives license to those, when they see you getting comfortable, it gives license to those who use it in a derogatory way to continue to say it and use it as slander. So as far as I'm concerned, only black people should be able to say it.
Okay, Erica, when black people say it to each other, is that not itself giving other people a license to say it?
Yes.
If I look at Duke and I say, "What's up, my nigga?" and Kenny is sitting in the room, is that not giving Kenny the license to say "What's up, my nigga," since I'm just using it in an open forum?
Yeah.
No.
Anybody?
That's what
Good
I'm
point.
saying the whole time.
No.
Oh, I think you broke up. Go ahead, Carlos.
I'm gonna say no, because just like Mike said earlier, if I'm sitting in a room and it's my girl and her sister, and this happens all the time, might I add, ain't no way my wife can say, "Babe," and I say, "Oh, what's up, babe?" and her sister feel like, okay, well, since you're calling them babe, I can call them babe too. Like, no, what? Like, it's not gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, like, just because one person does one thing, you can be a part of it. What does that mean? Like, if we used to say this to our kids all the time. So if Johnny jumps off a bridge, are you gonna jump off a bridge too? Like, come on, we're grown-ups. Like, just you know that you're sitting there. You know you're not black. You know you're not a part of that. That does not give you a right to be like, well, just because I'm in the room with them, I can say it just because that person said it. Now, if we all know each other and we all been calling each other that comes back to Duke's point. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he's not going to look at his El Salvadorian daughter or his wife or girl, whatever, and it be said, and it be like, babe, did you just say that? I know you didn't say that. He ain't going to say that. It's going to be cool. And if her brother, who been around for years, say it or whatever, I'm just being, I don't know if you got a brother, but I'm saying, says it, he ain't gonna trip. But when you say, if I'm sitting next to someone on a bus and the guy sits down, he got a little bit of sag in his pants, he looked like he fit the part, you know he one of them niggas, you know what I'm saying? He's a nigga. And then another person sits next down to you in the bus as well, and he happens to be white, and we're all sitting there talking, there's no way the white dude can be like, well, shit, nigga must be cool. No, by no means. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though I don't know this other brother.
Okay.
Right.
So,
Y'all ride the bus together every goddamn day. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead. Go ahead, dude.
So my daughter is half El Salvadorian. She just turned 18, so she's been a straight A student. She hang with a pretty good crowd. She told me about a month ago that she's pretty much not allowed to say nigga. She don't talk like that anyways, but they told her that she's not black, basically. So go figure. I mean, I thought that our blood, black. I mean, you're talking about two colored people, anyways, technically.
right.
But the black community, they pretty much disown it. Her friends in high school, junior high school, you can't say nigga. Why? Because you're not black. They haven't met her dad with the squiggly beard.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up because what Marcus was saying before too. What my son was going to say, and I'll just tell you what he said because he had to go to bed. But he was like, I said, so do you? Like when you and your cousin are talking, I know you'd be like, what's up, my nigga? And I'm like, you're not in trouble. You can tell me whatever you say. I'm not even tripping. Like that. I said, he's looking at me like with a disdain look on his face, like I don't say that. I don't say that. And I'm like, D, do not try to tell me the answer you think I want to hear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying basically it's cool. Don't trip. It's cool. He's like, no, I don't say it because it's offensive to our people. And we're talking about NIGGA, and he's 12 years old. So I'm like, he said he told his cousin, and the way my son is, and I know the way he is like little, and I hate to use the term extra, just what I be saying about him, but he go a little over and beyond on the thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like he think extra like that. He really, really do. You see what I'm saying? To the point where it's like, dude, you shouldn't even be getting that passionate about it. That's your cousin. That's your boy. That's your nigga. Like it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But he don't look at it like that because he's like that term. And you don't talk like that, Daddy, when you be around, when I see you all the time, we be at track practice and basketball and all this kind of stuff. You don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, from what I understand and what I learned, it's kind of like negative to black people. And I'm like, I had to explain, like, well, some black people use it, like, as far as the term of endearment, and it's kind of cool. That's why your cousin is using it that way. But he's, like, still, like, he should be able to use some other words, like bro, then, because he don't have to say that, because where it came from, it was negative to our people. And I'm like, he's 12 years old hitting me with this. You see what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
it blows my mind because I grew up with a Hawaiian and white girl that was like living in our home. That was my sister's best friend, and she used it, so it throws me off. But I'm from California too, and you know how liberal it can be. But at the same time, I mean, your daughter is El Salvadorian, and I would have never thought that would ever be said. But go figure. We learn something new every day.
Okay, I have another quick question before we wrap it up. Should any human being identify as a nigga? Because nigga could be used as a word, as an identifying word, and it could be used as a term of endearment. So does anybody on here identify themselves as a nigga? And should you be considered to identify as a nigga?
Yeah, let Marcus go. Let Marcus go, okay?
Go ahead, Marcus.
I'm a nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. And explain, what does that mean? What does I'm a nigga mean?
Just for the fact that it is used towards me. You know what I'm saying? I be a dog too. What's up, my dog? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to accept it.
So anything that's used towards you, you'll accept. So if I say you're a piece of dog boo-boo, you'll accept that.
but I see how you coming off with it, though. You know what I'm saying? You roasting, you feel me?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And so, so essentially what you're saying, though, is since people already call you that, you'll identify as a nigga. What about you, Carlos? Should people identify as a nigga instead of just using it as a word of endearment?
Well, when you say identify as a nigga, what do you mean? Like, because I want to know what, like, when I say what's up, my nigga, I'm using it as like more of an adjective. Like he's like my friend, my homeboy, my partner, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe I am a person. I'm a human being. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or I am a nigga. Like, I guess you could say, yeah, I don't know. Me personally, no. I don't really like to identify myself as that because I feel like I'm a man. I'm not no nigga. I'm a man, and that's a word. Like I'm not a word. You feel what I'm saying? I'm a human being. You know what I'm saying? I'm a professional. I'm someone that carries myself with integrity. So I'm not a nigga. Like because they said from the beginning we started with nigger was a person that was ignorant. And when I say what's up, my nigga, I'm not saying what's up, ignorant person. I'm just saying like what's up, my friend, my loved one. You know. So do I identify myself as one? Nah, not at all.
What about you, Guy? Would you identify yourself as a nigga?
No, no. Uh, I was called that many a times. There's environments where that was used. I mean, I'm from Southern California, so I'm from a little area known as, well, it's known now as Harupa Valley, the city of Harupa Valley. There's a little town in Harupa Valley, historically called Glen Avon. That was the southern home of the KKK. And I mean, I can distinctly remember days when I came from a SWAT meet, and there on the main corner was a whole bunch of people in their robes with their hoods and their signs saying, "Go back to Africa," and you niggas this and you niggas that. So, I know what a nigga is. I'm an educator. I educated people for many years, 22 years plus, and I dealt mainly. My specialty was in alternative ed for at-risk youth. And you'd be surprised. I mean, you would think that term would have been used a lot by kids that are at risk, but surprisingly, especially being from Southern California, I didn't really hear that a lot. I really didn't. And the whole culture of the rap culture, you that word in college, being educated means you're enlightened. That means you have some knowledge that other people wish that they could have, or you try to bestow upon other people. And yeah, personally, I don't take that banner. No, not me.
All right. What about you, HNIC? How about you, Erica? Do you identify as a nigga? Or
No,
is that
I
just
don't.
a term of
I mean,
endearment?
for me, it's more of a term of endearment or a term when just speaking of or to someone, like nigga, please, like more like that. It's not like I wouldn't use it to identify someone as who they were. So no, I don't use that to identify myself.
Okay. What about you, Duke? Do you identify yourself as a nigga?
Negative. When the last time you heard, "What's up, my educated intellectual nigga"? Instead, it's wrapped with the following words: "What's up, bitch ass nigga? What's up, you clown ass nigga?" This and that. It's derogatory words that are attached to it that immediately tells me that word in its entirety is a no-no. So for me, I grew up the way I carry myself. I like to think of I'm a clean cut type dude. I'm a suit and tie type wearing guy. And I like to present myself in a respectful manner, and not to say anything negative to the hood or the street, who like to use that. But for me and the way I raise my children, it's a no-no because of all the attachments. The word,
Yep.
it's too much animosity that's attached to that word. When you're out in the streets, or whether you're hanging out at a bar, or when you're getting into fights, it's used as a bad word. It is a bad word. It comes from a bad place. So
should we end
no.
it? Should we not? It's okay. Just yes or no, everybody.
It can be used in a good way. Oh,
Okay. Should we end the word, Marcus? Yes or no?
nope.
Duke, should we end the word?
Yes.
Kenny, should we end the word?
Yes, sir.
Carlos, should we end the word?
Damn.
Yeah.
Guys, should we end the word?
Historically, you cannot, but I would say, yeah, sure.
If y'all end that word in bitch, hoe, bitch, fuck, you know what I'm saying? End those words too then.
Erica,
You're right. You're right.
Should we end the word?
Well,
nigga?
those words weren't attached to slavery.
Which is
Either way it goes, they're negative.
They are.
They're derogatory. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I've been kind of listening and staying back, and I know we got to close, man. I'm gonna keep it real short, and we can talk about other words and everything all day long, and what the N word means and everything else. My dad's full-blooded Italian, and being called an Italian a dago is the same thing as calling a black dude a nigger, right? I don't know if y'all
Yep.
know that or not,
Yep.
but
Yep.
yeah. See, Mr. Guy knows. Look, high five right there, baby. But and I've been called dago a lot. I mean, even though I am half white and half Italian, I've been called a dago a lot. Man, you just a stupid little dago, and it never affected me in the way because I didn't have to deal with certain things that the black community had to deal with. But as far as we talked about music too, and we got black country music artists. There's
My
a
dad
there's a
was
young
one.
kid, huh?
My dad was a
All
country
three
music.
of them.
Yeah, I mean, all three of them, yeah, but there's a little bit more than three. But there's there's actually a young black dude in Florida right now that's coming up, and he uses the word redneck a lot. And redneck was a derogatory word to use for white trash, pretty much. So
Yep.
I mean, I can understand that words can be offensive. They always say sticks and stones will break my bones, words never hurt me. Why don't we still live by that? Why do we let things bother us to the point to where we get so pissed off at somebody we want to beat the brakes off of them? But as far as to
Yeah.
say that anybody can say it, yeah, and to say that white people can't say it, then y'all can't say redneck no more. I'm officially making that right now.
Take away your
Yeah.
redneck card.
We don't go around saying
Revoked.
All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and end it with that. I want to tell everybody thank you for coming. Marcus, Daryl, Michael was here, Kenny, Carlos, Guy, Erica, Duke. Thank you guys all for your opinions and your perspectives. We might have to continue this again later, but this was a good discussion. I like the fact that everybody did it in a respectful way, and this proves that everybody don't think the same, and that's kind of the reason we do the show, because we got different perspectives, and as you see, at the end of the day, everybody's still sitting in their square alive. So we could do it, you guys. We could come up with things, and we could have discourse, and we could learn each other. And so I just want to go ahead and end it like that. And I want to tell everybody, yes, we're changing it to Thursdays. We're changing it to Thursdays, I'll be honest, because my mother goes to prayer on Wednesdays, and so she
Yep.
couldn't watch it on Wednesdays. So we shifted it over to Thursdays.
Hi,
And
Tyrone's
It's
mom.
Bible study, not just prayer. There's
well,
word, there's a message.
okay, well, and that's what
We
happens.
get the point.
Shout out to
When
the
we get the
31
point.
Sons.
I'm going to be sending out shirts to people who shared today, and I thank you guys for sharing. If you can, go to the page and like if you haven't already. Coming down the pipe, we're going to do a show on the education system, public education, private education, the breakdown of education, and we're going to have a couple of these people back. We're going to do a show on child support coming up as well.
Oh,
And,
Lord.
uh-oh. Yeah, we're going to do a show on child support.
I want to be a part of that one.
Okay, well, definitely you're in there. We might do an impromptu
Me too.
show on this week. You're in there too. We might do an impromptu show on Kanye, since that seems to be
Yes.
such a hot topic. And if we do that, we'll set it up and we'll do that this week. And I'm not going to debate. I'm just going to listen.
Be
And
the mediator.
exactly. And as usual, I want to tell everybody, if you're in the Maryland, Washington, D.C. area, call Latasha French for any real estate questions. Oh, and we're also going to do a group of shows on finances. So we're going to go over Bitcoin, we're going to go over stocks, we're going to go over bonds, we're going to go over real estate, we're going to go over money. So if you guys want to be a part of that panel, or if you know somebody who knows anything that they have some good to add, go ahead and let me know. But again, let me get back to it. So call Latasha French for any real estate questions, any real estate. If you're in the Washington, D.C., Maryland area, you can find her here on Facebook, and she's great. She's really knowledgeable. I want to tell you guys, Optimist Cleaning Service, they're out there in Riverside. If you have grout in your tile and things of that nature, they're going to come and take care of it. They're going to make sure that you're right. They do cleaning services, and they're really good at what they do. Like, if you're going to rent out your home, Before you go break up the towel
That boy
and pay
said
for
it.
new towel, you might want to hire these guys so they could come get the grout out. If you don't hire them to get the grout out, then you deserve to have the grout in. I want to tell you guys to go check out Riverside Rob. He has a thrift store, and not only do we have a thrift store, they have a moving company, and they've moved me a couple times. Look up Cali Chef Corn. That's Cornelius Gardner. He's here on Facebook. You could call him for specials. He does everything. He caters private events. He does public events. He'll come out to birthday parties. He could do anything from elegant to hood, whatever you want. Go ahead and check out Sir Charles Cheesecakes. He's out there in Riverside. He makes the best cheesecakes. You can look him up on Facebook. It's Sir Charles. If you need any makeup, if you need anything done with makeup, any advice, any tips, even if you want to know where to go buy something, look up Ashley Hutchins. She's here on Facebook. Check out Free Fire Radio on Fridays, and that's Tawan Corey Carr, and that's on Dash Radio. And once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out, and thanks everybody for checking us out. Before we leave, Guy, what's your son's YouTube information?
I was just putting that down in the comments. So it's just under his name, Alexander Harrell. First name's Alexander, last name Harrell. It's a beginner's YouTube channel, but he's had it about 2 years.
Somewhere.
Get those subs up. So if y'all could help me, that'd be great. Thank you.
Anybody else got anything they want to add? Anything they want to bring some attention to? Anybody?
No, just thank you for the invite, and I appreciate talking to all of you guys. You guys are awesome, and I look forward to hearing from you again.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
Cool.
All right, everybody. Well, that wraps up another great episode. This is Soapbox Heroes. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
All right.
God bless.
Thank y'all for having me.